Good morning, everyone. Let's get this week started and started strong. Anyway, we are already seeing a major move before the Monday opening bell. We have over like 600 handles sell off. Let me open. Here we have like 600 handles sell off. We had over 1,000 handles sell off to kick off. To kick off things. That's some serious volatility. Now, let's break it down and see what's really happening in the market. Uh, a lot went down over the weekend. Some big handles, some big headlines. I think yes, last week. Um, Including developments with OpenAI and a major Chinese tech company making waves. What is it called? Uh, deep, DeepSeek. Yes, DeepSeek. Now, while we won't get too deep into that, these events have clearly shifted market sentiment, leading to a massive gap down. So last week you also had that massive gap down back into that reclaimed inversion fair value, and this week we also had that gap down, but this time it was over 600 handles. So I'm just gonna sit this one out. mm, Originally, before all this weekend chaos, um remember we were watching a breaker setup with a potential move towards buy side liquidity, right? Our target was that buy side. We had a classic structure forming. We had a low, high, lower low, right? And and we had a and we okay. Originally, before all this weekend chaos, we had what we were watching a breaker setting up with a potential move towards buy side all time highs, right? We had a classic structure forming, which was a low, high, lower low, setting up for a bullish move. But now with this heavy sell-off that occurred, right, the narrative has changed, right? Even though we wigged back and rebalanced that inversion fair value and closed above, going back into that new week opening gap, you have some key points of we had some key points to focus on. A large liquidity void, right, between the previous day's candle low and the new day candles high. We had that volume imbalance. you know this also creates a volume imbalance, which could also serve as a magnet for price. So we did see that we retraced back into that new week opening gap and went to rebalance back into the new week opening gap. Now this week we used that new week opening gap as resistance, and we gapped lower today and before the opening bell, and we had like 600 handles low. So January is typically a choppy month. You can see with everything that is going on, um which is why I don't trade my real account until February. The market often pulls back from the center rally which we had around December. This like that move around December. So since then, January we have been consolidating. So that's why I don't trade January's, right? Because it's causing unpredictable price action and lower probability setups. So instead, I use January for observations and preparation, waiting for February's bullish seasonal tendency to kick in before I start actively trading. So when in right, so currently right now we are currently trading inside this range, right, between this discount inversion fair value and that premium CV. So we are currently consolidating inside those two PD arrays. We are in the we've already, last week was like the last week of January, and historically February tends to be a bullish month for the indices. um so I'm really just waiting to see if this inversion fair value can still hold price and offer us support, because I'm waiting for that February's bullish seasonal tendency to kick in before I start actively trading. November, remember, November through December typically sees a bullish run, right? And we did see that. We saw that bullish run, November up until December. January often retraces lower as part of the center rally correction, which was somewhere around here. You see that? So we have been consolidating inside that November December bullish rally. So after that, the February statistically leans bullish, right? Not always, but often enough to keep in mind. So right now I'm just waiting to see how we trade around it. Now we have two new weeks opening gap acting as our resistance, so I'm really, plus this is also NFP week, so I'm really considering to see how we act around this new week opening gaps. Do we break through them, or we use them as support and we seek out this, we're likely to seek out sell side liquidity, um or this short-term low here and just come and just retest um this discount BC. um that said, we do have uh relative equal lows, right, on Nasdaq, which could also be a target. However, I'm also considering the dollar index, because also the dollar index DXY, yep, and that offered us support. If you watch my new weekly commentary, I said I wanted to see if we were to run for sell side, right? I wanted us to see us breaking through this uh, fair value gap, right? And unfortunately, we did not see that. We saw unwillingness to trade lower, with price closing on the upper quadrant of this gap, right? And we saw a strong rally up back into the premium CB 75% level, right? The upper quadrant of that weekly CB. So we're currently trading at the high of that, so I'm just gonna wait out and just see how we trade around it. But I wanted to see maybe us not actually breaking this high. If we are really on a bearish run, right, I don't want to see us breaking out of that high, so I want to see the weekly CB acting as my resistance, right? Because I also want it to align with my seasonal bullish tendency for February. So while those equal lows look tempting on Nasdaq, I'm not relying too heavily on them getting swept yet, taken out yet. They look a little too clean for me. However, though, but I'll just keep them in the back of my mind, right? So right now, I just want to see how we trade around this inversion fair value gap, right? Because it has been acting as our point of support and last line of defense from actually sweeping out this swing low, right? So yeah, I think for now I'm just gonna have to wait for it and be patient, and I'll go live again during the AM session. Remember, this is NFP week, so it's important to be cautious, and yeah, it's very important to be cautious. Man, we had a crazy sell-off before the opening bell, Monday's opening bell. So yeah, let's see how we trade around this new week opening gap. um let's see how we trade around this new week opening gap. Do we use this uh daily inversion fair value as support? So if it does act as support, I want to see us breaking through this new week opening gap, and we actually use this new opening gap to actually break through the one that formed on the 27th of January, and seeking those relative equal highs as my potential buy side liquidity, drawn liquidity. Right, so I'm just gonna lay it out, leave it like this for now. Let me just check the others. Yeah, we also had a very strong gap low, and we actually swept sell side liquidity. So yeah, I think for now I just want to see how we act around it. I just want to see how we act around it. I want to see how we act around this fair value. We also had a sell-off, a very heavy sell-off on USDT. Can it offer me support? Can we be offered support? I don't know. It's possible. On the dollar index, we actually gapped higher, so I want to see maybe if they use it as support and continue to rally higher. But if the dollar keeps on continues to rally higher, then I should expect lower prices on Nasdaq. But then, regardless of that, um, I'm just waiting to see, because this is NFP week. And with everything going on, man, it's crazy volatile. It's crazy volatile, but I'm just gonna lay it like that. I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. And remember, Mondays I don't trade. I'm gonna be trading Tuesdays, so today I'll just be tape reading. Anyways, I have an announcement to make. 2025, I have this 2025 trading challenge. The goal is to take a 10,000 rands account to 100,000 rand. This year I'm setting a big goal. I'm taking on a challenge to grow a 10,000 rands into 100,000 rands. Now, this is going to require discipline, precision, and the ability to capitalize on high probability setups. So I'll be sharing my journey, trade breakdowns, and insights along the way. If you're serious about trading and want to follow along, make sure to hit the subscribe button and join me, man. I can't wait for that. Now, what's next? With the markets shifting like this, we need to stay adaptable. Will price retrace into the gap? This inversion fair value gap continue lower, meaning break through it and use it as resistance to continue lower, or we'll see buyers step in aggressively, just as they did last week. After that new week opening, we will trace back into that new week opening gap. So I want to see if we can do the same thing here. But if I am really bullish, I want to see us breaking through this new week opening gap. Right, so I'll be watching these two levels very, very, very closely for key reactions. Stay locked in. This is going to be an exciting week, man. Let's trade smart and take advantage of the opportunities ahead. This is just a small review of mine for now. Targeting those relative equal highs, but I'm targeting that all-time high, that all-time buy side liquidity on Nasdaq. So I'm just waiting to see if we do react around this inversion fair value gap, that daily inversion fair value gap, and see how we also react inside this new week opening gap. Do we break through it, or it's used as resistance to seek out this relative equal lows? Well, anything is possible. Anything is possible, man. Anything is possible. Um, nonetheless, that's it for me for now. I'll be live trading again, tape reading actually during the AM session, and I'll be live trading from Tuesday. And yeah, let's see if we can reach the target, man. 100,000 rands from 10k to 100k. So let's see if we can do that. If you want to join me, please subscribe to my channel, man. I would really appreciate that. Um, it really motivates me, man, to see. And also I'd like you to like. Don't forget to like and subscribe. For now, I think I'll just let it be like this. I'll be live again, tape reading in the AM session. So for now, cheers and best of luck, guys.